Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind podcast. We have a giant show today. We have Josh Weinstock back in the studio,
That's me.
fresh off his black belt test,
Yes.
receiving your black belt.
Feeling like I got hit by a car.
Yeah, your face looks a little scratched up. It's great.
I feel that way.
Yeah. So on this week's show, we have a boatload of events. We're going to talk about the EBI 10th Planet Qualifier for EBI 18, a little bit about Men of War 4. We're going to recap Fight to Win 95 in San Diego, California. We're going to recap Finishers Sub Only 7. We are going to talk about, in the preview section of the show, Fight to Win 96 in Fresno, Onnit 10, the Toro Cup 12 that Josh is actually on as a black belt.
Hey.
We are also going to preview Polaris 8, the EBI 18 female strawweights, and Dulo De Titans. So it is probably one of the biggest shows we've ever done. It's going to be a two-parter, Josh.
Holy crap.
Yeah, you walked into a good one.
Yay.
Oh, plus we have some of the most news we've ever had on the show as well.
The most newsiest news that's ever newsed.
This episode was actually recorded in two different parts. Josh was here for part of the episode, and Emil was here for part of the episode. So if there are some odd cuts in the show, that's what happened. I moved their segments to where they made sense within the show so that it wasn't like middle of the previews. There was an event recap, and so if it seems a little cut up, it is, and that's what happened. So how's your week been, Josh? It's been probably a busy week. Let's talk about it.
How's my week been?
Yeah, how's your week been?
It's been tiring.
Yeah, I bet so.
Yeah.
You got a lot on your mind getting from a 4-stripe brown belt, or how many stripes you had, to a black belt, finally.
I wouldn't say finally. I was like, when it was in discussion, I was like, I don't give a shit either way.
That's always how you felt, though. Like, it's never been about the belt for you. It's always been about, like, just doing jiu-jitsu, and then you've not cared what belt it's been.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
So, wait, how long were you a brown belt, first of all?
Almost 4 years. As of the 12th of December, it would have been 4 years.
So you were a brown belt for literally 3 years and, like, 340-something or 50 days or something.
Well, what's today?
I'm not good. I'm not good at math. It's
so 10 days shy.
Jesus.
So 355 days, yeah.
So 3 years, 355 days.
Yeah.
That's a long time at a belt.
Not really. I think most of my belts were... White to blue was like the shortest. That was like, what? 1 year, 1, 2, 3. It was like 15 months.
Okay.
And then I was blue for like, been doing this for 12 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So white to blue was like 15 months. And then blue to purple was like 3 or 4 years. And then purple to brown was like 3 or 4 years. Maybe even 5.
You've had a hell of a journey, Josh.
I'm just really lazy and not good at jiu-jitsu. That's why it took me so long.
You're good at jiu-jitsu now, though. You're a black belt.
That doesn't mean shit.
You are the first black belt we've ever had on this show.
That is true. That is true. Whatever. You know, it's not a... Several people have been like, so what's it feel like? I was like, I don't know, the same as it felt a few hours ago, other than I'm kind of tired. They're like, oh, how uneventful.
Yeah, you had like not the worst speech I've ever heard for black belt, but it was just like...
It was the best speech. Fuck you. It wasn't heartfelt. It wasn't full of emotion. It was like, hey, jiu-jitsu's pretty fun. I've been through a lot of cool things. I've competed. I've done a lot of other cool shit.
I have kids now.
I have kids. I have life. I have a career. Like, here you go. Here's the best advice for anybody that's not a professional jiu-jitsu athlete. It takes a while. Get over it. That's it. Like, unless jiu-jitsu is your job, like professionally, you make a lot of money doing tournaments, not just running a school. Like, your life doesn't depend on it. It's going to take you a while. If you are a gym owner, that is your job in a sense. That doesn't make you a jiu-jitsu professional. That just makes it your job to run a school.
Yeah, it's a business. As
It's
opposed
a
to like
business.
your profession is to be a
Right.
jiu-jitsu guy.
I mean, you could sort of say it, but you don't... It takes a while to get a black belt. Whatever. You know, if I was really good and I competed a lot and I went to like the best schools and everything and left everything aside, maybe I would have gotten my black belt 6 years ago. But I don't really care.
Because you got it now and you're not going to stop training.
Yeah.
It's never been like a thing for you The belts never matter to you. It's always about like continuing to do jiu-jitsu to get better at jiu-jitsu and enjoy jiu-jitsu. That's why you do it.
I do jiu-jitsu because it's fun.
Yeah.
Not because I was going to lose weight, because it took me forever to do that. So thanks, jiu-jitsu, for nothing. It helped let out aggression. Like, I didn't go around trying to beat people up all the time.
Only in the gym.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a couple beatings of you in the gym.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than you are.
And better at jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I got a stripe on a purple belt. Or sorry, I've got 2 stripes on purple belt now. You're a black belt. Like, yeah, you way better than me, Josh.
I guess so. Sure. I don't know, like, what more you want me to say about this. Like, it's really cool. It's an achievement. I could beat the shit out of a majority of people that walk around. I can take out most karate schools, like all of them at the same time. You know, let all those junior black belts come at me. I'll take them all out.
I wasn't looking for you to say something. I was just, kind of looking to get your thoughts because, like, you're a big piece of the show, and this is kind of for most people, Josh. This is a huge crowning achievement of their life. Part of why I like you is like this is just another Saturday for you.
It was another day. Like, I got beat up. I got thrown through a table. Beat that, by the way. Your promotions, you ever gotten thrown through a table through a promotion? No.
Yeah, that video is on our Instagram page. If you want to take a look at Josh getting slammed through a folding table, I highly recommend it. It's about the funniest 3 seconds you'll see this year.
Yeah, it's quite amusing. Yeah, I do goofy stuff. There's prom picture poses of me with people getting my black belt. You know, I view it as just a fun thing. Like, yeah, it's a hobby. It is a great achievement. Not a lot of people per se have gotten black belts, but I also know where I stand in the pool of black belts. I am one of the newest ones, and most of them can beat the shit out of me. I work from there. I don't like black belt's not even like the stopping point. That's honestly like the beginning point. Now you get to see like all these dudes. You better believe I'll compete. I'll do adults. I'll do masters. You're
competing next weekend. We have to preview the event that you're on in this show.
Yeah, but I will seek like the guys that I looked up to that have been competing in black belt for years and try to compete against them. Tarsus Humphreys, Hamlo Bahal, Claudio Calazans. If Marcelo Garcia comes back, you better believe I'm going to try to go after that ass. I'm going to get murked, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be awesome. Andre Galvao, Keenan, I competed against him at purple belt, but not at black belt, Keenan. You know, Keenan, JT Torres, like every single person that's a black belt that I've wanted to compete against, now I can technically go into that division as long as I fit in that weight category and I compete against them. And that's what excites me the most. You know, that's the most exciting thing is there's an endless amount of people. Saulo Ribeiro, Shanji Ribeiro, Hodger Gracie, like Lachlan Giles. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. There's so many people that I can compete against. And it's not just like random Joe Schmo from, you know, bumfuck wherever. Like these are name guys that are going to kick my ass and I'm going to have a great time the entire time it's happening. So yeah, there's my feelings.
Awesome. Want to move into news now?
Sure.
All right, so in other news, John Danaher has announced his new DVD will be triangles, enter the triangle system, whatever his series is called.
I could not be less excited. The way he talks, just I can't.
He dramatic pauses a lot and uses the royal we a lot. Very good instructor.
I can't.
But
personally,
not for everyone. So that's coming out. Gordon Ryan's also announcing a DVD, Getting Swole with Gordon Ryan.
I didn't think that was real.
Yeah, you sent me. It's like, is this a joke? And I went, I think this is legit. It's real. I think BJJ Finance.
Did you look it up?
Yeah, it's real. I think there's an advertisement I saw for it. It looks like a real DVD.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
What he only
but
gained.
We'll get into a little bit more of that. I know Fight to Win isn't a big drama thing, but we'll get into that in just a second.
In other news, Josh Palmer, commentator for pick your event, Polaris, Quintet, Cage Warriors,
all sorts of stuff.
Great commentary. We love listening to him on commentary. Got pointed to black belt this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Cyborg got his fourth stripe and his black belt. Andrew Cockle got his black belt as well. Dude, it was a big week for black belt and black belt promotions.
Tons of people got
I was looking at
belt.
Instagram. It was like every other guy that was like a high level brown belt was like black belt, black belt, black belt. Josh, you got more competition this weekend.
Yes.
Awesome. So in other big news, the ADCC Asian and Oceanic trials were canceled a week out.
That's what happens when nobody signs up.
I want to look at if there's a smooth comp or there's some other open registration that you could look at to see how many people actually signed up. Because I've seen numerous people go. We had a bunch of guys from our gym that had flights from Australia to Kazakhstan that it got canceled a week out. Like, hopefully we're going to get our flight money back. But it was just like, Jesus. Because, like, Kazakhstan is not close to Japan
Anywhere?
or Australia or big hubs of jiu-jitsu. It's close to a lot of the wrestling central countries.
Well, maybe that's why they didn't get a lot of people signing up. Or maybe a lot of people were like, shit, you know, Lachlan Giles and all these dudes are going to roll into all these different weight classes. What's the point?
Man, I get it, but
But
East
it
Coast
fucks
trials,
people. It
yeah.
fucks people over in the scheme of things because they don't have a place to potentially qualify to get into the tournament.
Right, so I think they'll move it, is what it seemed like they were going to do. They're still kind of up
Who
in the air,
knows?
but hopefully they'll move it and give these guys, you know, an avenue to get into ADCC, I would hope. I mean, Lachlan Giles, I think specifically, is not on Polaris because he was going to be on this. So it's like, that's kind of disappointing.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Figure it out when, you know, breaking news happens.
So in other news, Fight to Win 100 was announced for Hawaii, for Honolulu, and every single person wants to be on that card.
I do not.
What I thought it was kind of funny because I was like, well, you want to be in the card, but you still have to sell tickets. And I doubt you know anyone in
You
Hawaii.
don't have to sell tickets. That's one of the things. Like the very first Fight to Win that I did was in Jersey. I sold two tickets. They didn't give a shit. Like they'd prefer me sell more tickets, but I'm like 3 hours away from anybody. The only people that came were people that were close to Jersey that happened to know me. They just want you to put on a good show. It helps out like everybody break even when everybody sells tickets, but you know, you're going to try to get a lot of local talent first.
Yeah, it would help.
Or West Coast talent that have connections to Hawaii that could do that. You know, nobody is going to want to see all these people from all over the place unless they're huge names.
Which I hope they get because it gives them an excuse to go out to Hawaii.
I think it's awesome that they're going out there. When they were like, oh, when I saw it, I was like, that's a great idea, especially for like the centennial event. 100. You've done 100 of these. Where are you going to do it? Where haven't you been, you know, that doesn't suck? Let's go somewhere that's awesome.
Hawaii.
You know, it's all over the place. This is somewhere that they haven't been before. They didn't have to go like well overseas. They aren't going into a place where they wouldn't be sure if they could sell it. Like the only two things that I could think of, in all honesty, are Hawaii or the UK because it's got such a big grappling scene to begin with.
But these guys typically like to stay within the United States for their events.
Well, they haven't been outside of the United States. So I'm not 100% sure their plans going international, but I think they could have pulled it off if they did the UK, but it's also a time zone thing.
Yeah, their market and everyone's used to them at like in US time zones. Hawaii's going to be interesting though because Hawaii is in a significantly different time zone, but it's
Isn't
still
it 5 hours back?
Is it Cali time? No,
It's
Cali.
before
yeah,
Cali
so it's
time.
two more than that.
I think it's 5 hours back.
Yeah, I think that's correct. But again, we're
never good with time
We're
zones.
never good at time zones here.
We never look up anything. Who researches things? That's not fun.
I do sometimes, Josh.
Lies.
So that pretty much does it for news, unless you got anything else.
Oh, what we were alluding to earlier, there was a little bit of beef between Matt Kaplan and Gordon Ryan, where Matt Kaplan posted something talking about people doing steroids. Gordon Ryan calls him a fucking dork, and he was like, well, I wasn't talking to you, but since you want to get into that, and he just went ham on Gordon Ryan, just telling him that he was juiced to the gills, and it was weird that he called his girlfriend his sister for the longest time.
Is he still doing that or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because he was doing that until like 6 months ago, at least.
I don't know. I never really understood that at all, but whatever. And
Whatever
then,
you're into.
you know, there's been a lot of talk of Gordon Ryan doing steroids. A lot of
He
it.
put on 50 pounds in like
A short period of time.
Like
granted,
6 months?
he's, I think, less than that. But granted, he is also young.
He was like 19 or 20 or something.
Like 18, 19 years old.
Which you're going to get much bigger, but he got swole.
He got
in
really
like
big.
a couple months, and
And
I don't care. Do what you do. I want to see him compete in ADCC. Dude looked amazing in ADCC. Whatever he had to do to put on that performance.
well, he cut weight for that one.
Oh, yeah, he cut a bunch of weight to make 88
So he was
kilos.
in 88. So he's going to be in 99 more than likely this time around.
I think so, yeah.
But again, think about that. Like, that's a lot of weight to put on in a short amount of time. And if you're training as much jiu-jitsu as he trains,
All the time.
that doesn't leave a lot of time for like rest, which is one of the key things for muscle growth.
Yep.
So I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I, as you've heard my opinion and Maine's opinion, neither of us care if he does.
No.
But, yeah, you know,
They had beef.
There was beef. And we'll leave it at that. You want to get into the show?
Yes, do it.
Let's.
All right. So on to our recap of Fight to Win 95 in San Diego, California. This event paid out a total of $38,124 in salaries and commissions and was headlined by black belt Lovato. Rafael Lovato. I always give him the R. Rafael Lovato Jr. defeating Josh Hinger, retaining the Fight to Win black belt Nogi title. So this event was a really cool event. Seth Daniels basically stated that they originally had come to San Diego after they'd run 4 events, and San Diego was their 5th event. They got a trailer, they got a bunch of other stuff together, and San Diego showed them that they could actually put up these events on the road around the country and make it a viable thing. So he has a soft spot and start for San Diego. It was really great to see them, go back to San Diego after 90 events. And put on a great show like this. So that was really cool that Seth posted that. They have some interesting posts on the Instagram about that, and it's really cool to see the promotion grow. I think we've been covering them since 53, and it's really amazing to watch them, as far as they've come in that time of events.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've been on a few of them.
You have been on 3 of them, right?
Yep, that would be a few.
Yeah, technically
not a couple, a few.
A few, all right.
I've been watching these for quite a while too, on like Flow and things like that, and it's really interesting to see how it's grown, where everything gets better and better, the production gets better and better, the design gets better and better. Everybody's applying to it now. Everybody wants to be a part of this organization,
of the biggest party in grappling.
And I mean, just looking at it, you can understand why. Like, you get to share the same mat as all these other cool people, as your idols, as whoever, and you get to compete in front of, technically, I don't know, tens of thousands of people?
Probably at least, yeah. Probably 1,000 or 2,000 in the audience, depending on how big the venue is. And then it's streamed on Flow, which is, we have really no numbers on Flow, but a lot of people on Flow.
Give me some numbers, Flo. Let me know. How many people have it? And then what's your median of viewers for a Fight to Win production?
Yeah, so you get to compete on a huge stage. So it's great. We love covering Fight to Win. It's really cool to see Seth post that and basically, again, a peek behind the curtain of like, they put all this money, they put all their chips in the basket and made it happen, made it work. And so 90 events later, they're here back in San Diego and put on another great show.
Yeah.
So what was the submission percentage, Josh, on this one?
42%. We round up here.
Yeah.
41.6. So that goes to the next one. Common Core math.
Yeah. It was good. Where do you want to start with this? So I want to start with the black belts and then move down the card?
Sure.
All right.
And then we'll talk a little bit about it in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start with the title match. Rafael.
Stop
I always call him Rafael. I don't know why.
The guy with the names is back.
We read too many Portuguese names.
The guy with the names is back.
All right. So do the names, Josh.
Fear not. Rafael Lovato Jr. defeated Josh Hinger.
Hinger.
Not Hinger.
What'd I say?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, it's Hinger. Yeah, it's Hinger. The Hinger team.
Yeah, exactly. By decision to retain his Fight to Win light heavyweight black belt no gi title.
He also has the gi title too.
Yes.
We haven't seen him defend that in a little bit, but so it's cool to see him defending the title frequently.
This was a really close match.
Yeah, and not if you listen to Jeff Glover on commentary.
Jeff Glover openly admitted before the match even started how Rafael is his boy. He's like, that's my boy.
Yeah.
I'm behind
But
him.
I appreciate when commentary staff does that. They're like, look, I'm going to be biased here, but I'm going to tell you beforehand. So, this was a super close match. It was actually, honestly, a little closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Lovato was going to be the bigger guy, more experienced guy. I realized, and Jeff Glover on commentary told him repeatedly how accomplished Lovato is. I get that, but I had kind of forgotten all of his accolades, like the first American to win the Brazilian Nationals. Like, oh, I forgot he did that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Second American behind BJ Penn to win a world title in the gi.
He grand slammed it that year.
Yeah, I remember that. I heard him on another podcast recently where he talked about it. I was like, oh shit, he's really, really accomplished, and it was cool. So Hinger doesn't have as many accolades, so I thought that Lovato would really kind of be a front runner here, and Hinger made it a really, really close match.
That doesn't mean shit. Like, most of that stuff was won in the gi. Granted, Lovato is very good in no gi as well.
He's about to challenge for the Bellator title against Musasi at 85.
That's punchy kicky.
That's
not
punchy-kicky.
just grapple. So, I figured it would be a really good match, and it turned out to be an excellent match. It was very close. It was back and forth. Lovato, being that giant, gangly person that he is, used his length to his advantage, hitting that Kimura hip sweep coming up top, just being able to stretch out at one point near the end, passing through into mount. And I think that at that point, that is what won him the match, because he got his head stuck in that guillotine at a certain point. Kind of, but still, like, if you think about it, if you go by the rules, if you're in a submission,
for fight to win rules, like it's technically a submission attempt, but it was interesting. I think it was a really, really close match. I think the two things that sold it for me for why Lovato got it was that Kimura sweep that he got on top with, and then the pass over to mount when he was trying to flatten out Hinger's arm. I think those two things were really the deciding factor that gave it to him in this match.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't upset like, oh no, like that's a robbery.
No,
I wouldn't have felt that way, honestly, if it went the other way. I mean, I may have questioned it a little bit more just because of how the match ended.
Yeah,
but
ended mount. It's kind of hard to give to the other guy.
Yeah, but it was a good match. Hopefully, we get to see them go at it again.
Oh yeah,
that was super competitive. Moving on.
Yep. Next match.
Amanda Tubby Aliquin defeated Jenna Bishop by decision,
and she becomes the black belt no-gi bantamweight champion.
This one, I think, was even closer and even harder to decide.
Oh, yeah.
I
watched that night, then I was like, I have no idea who won that match.
When it ended, I was like, I don't know who wins.
I'm so glad I don't have to judge this, because I watched, I was like, okay, this happened, it went back and forth, and it was so close. I have no idea who's going to get the decision.
It blew my mind that all of the judges, though, thought it was like that Tubby won.
That's good judging, though. You have unanimous judging is a good thing.
Not necessarily. That's the thing, because you have to see it from both point of views. Like, Jenna was continuously attacking submissions.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
I feel, off the top of my head, I watched it a little bit earlier as well, I feel she had more submission attempts.
I feel she had more submission attempts, but I feel like the submission attempts that Tubby had were closer. And I think
you see what's going on right now?
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind. That makes me think that all three people that judged it were like, no, this person won. We just had a small debate about it, like, this is why I feel this is why I feel that. There's your split decision right there. So it was kind of interesting that it all went one way. Jenna Bishop felt the same way as well, because as soon as they said that, she was like, WTF, what's going on?
Right.
So it was still a good match. I'd love to see them compete again.
Yeah,
because
anytime you get a match like this that has as much action as this match had, I'm happy to run it back.
Yeah,
like I'm happy. It's like, oh, that was a match that I'd be. There are plenty of matches that we see that are like, cool. If I never have to see this match again, it would be a day too soon. This is not one of those matches. I like matches that are super close, especially at a high level, super close like this, because it gives you like, oh, I wonder what the game plan's going to be next time. Oh, I know that they do this really well now. What am I going to do? What am I change in my preparation or my game plan to be out of that spot or to put them into a spot that I want to be in? And the high-level guys, they'll change their game plan up a little bit going into a rematch because they know what to expect more from the person.
Yeah. So, again, love to see it run back when we can. But let's go to the next match. Barrett Yoshida defeated Andre Pontes by knee bar.
This was a really I love watching Barrett compete. He's up a little bit. This is a 140 match. This wasn't a 35-pound match. We just saw him take the title for bantamweight at the Philly card versus Christian Woodmansey via back crucifix action.
Yeah. And he started to go and attack it again.
That's what he does. He's a back crucifix guy.
It was even better because Pontes pulled guard and Yoshida was like, okay, sat down too, and then dug himself underneath to start attacking the legs. He comes up, he tries to go for his crucifix and starts attacking the back. He goes into whatever you want to call it, honey hole, 411, side saddle, ashigarami, like whatever.
Pick your name.
Inside sankaku. But in the position to where you couldn't get called for a DQ, because in Fight to Win, if you're in the gi, you can't reap.
Yes.
So the
correct.
way he set up his leg, he knew he could be in that position without causing a reaping motion, which eventually led to him snagging the knee bar.
Yeah, and the camera angle for this is really, really great. You're looking directly in at all the action. It's literally the perfect camera angle you could ask for. You can see all the transitions, and you see Yoshida just pull the leg out, extend, and you go, damn, that is a really, really slick technique.
Yeah.
Takes it out, just his legs are everything's in the perfect position, and you get a nice, smooth, clean knee bar.
Yeah, it was great to see. I love seeing him compete. You see him all over the country. It's great that he didn't have to fly 3,000 miles just to compete. He was sort of in his backyard. So, good on Barrett. Always love seeing him compete. He's like 900 years old, and he's still beating ass. I'm kidding. He would beat me up, and it would be awesome. But still, Barrett's, he's in his 40s.
I think, yeah, we've seen him compete for the Masters title at Fight to Win before.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, he's in his 40s, I think.
He still puts on a great show. I mean, the dude could be 60 years old, and I bet he would still be kicking ass.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He seems like one of those guys that's just going to kind of keep going and keep competing at that level until literally he physically can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So next match, we have Travis.
Tarsus.
Why do I have the names?
Tarsus.
You do the names, Josh.
Tarsus Humphreys defeating Kuhio Tabankura. I killed it by choke. It was like sort of a bow and arrow modified kind of thing.
Yeah. Really cool sequence here at the end that finishes that.
I enjoyed the beginning part of it where they're sort of battling on their feet for a little bit. And Tabankura was actually keeping up for a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay, this, Tarsus world champion, tough dude.
Oh, yeah.
Tarsus aggressively pulls guard and then immediately stands back up and goes for that Rodolfo Vieira, like, bastardized Seonagi. Yeah, say it like, or the train wreck, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, he just was trying to throw it really hard and ends up getting it. And from there, really just starts heavy pressure. At one point, he had him pinned down, and Tarsus had that grip right behind the right behind Tabankura's neck. And I'm saying his last name because I feel it's easier than his first name, Kuhio. I'm gonna mess that one up.
It's got like a soft H to it or something, which makes it hard for me.
Anyway, so Tarsus had that behind the neck grip, and just like, oh Christ, what's the lightweight Japanese grappler from Carpe Diem?
Tomoyuki Hashimoto?
Yeah.
Or is he roosterweight?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Well, I was just saying he's lightweight.
Yeah,
Hashimoto, okay. And then there's another Brazilian guy that does the move too, where you'll be stuck in like half guard, like almost into deep, or you pin them down Hamilo Bahal style, and you get that grip, and then you step over the head and lock it out for that choke.
Step over choke. I know it is a step over choke.
Right. We'll go with that. We'll call it a step over choke. And I thought he was going to hit it, and he just kept pressuring him. Finally, knee cuts through, and Tabankura goes to turtle position, and then we're thinking, oh, here comes clock choke, which was attempted.
Yeah, he attempted the clock choke, and the commentator was like, "Oh, he's gonna go out," and then he
You mean
didn't.
Jeff Glover? 'Cause
Yeah.
Jeff Glover was like, he's got it.
Jeff Glover gets I like Jeff Glover. Jeff Glover gets excited when he sees anything.
Yes, he got really excited about the whole thing, and I was like, I don't think that's close, Jeff, and it wasn't. But they kept going and going, and then you see him quickly. He looks like he's going to go for it, grabs the back, and immediately just like steps over and nails this modified bow and arrow where he didn't even fully extend him and got the tap super quick.
Yeah, it was this is a really, really nice finishing sequence here from a high level guy. Next match,
Kong Seriale,
I think.
Seriale. Sorry, that one I'll screw up. Kong Seriale defeats Matt Palupele. Oh.
Palupulele. Oh my God.
Palupelele. Yes.
That's how we said it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Via
split decision. These guys were big.
Very, very large gentlemen. There was over 700 pounds of black belt on this match.
That's a lot of man meat.
That is. That's like 4 Josh Weinstocks.
700 pounds? It's like 3 and some change, but still, yeah.
That's a lot of you.
Yeah.
It's like 6 of me.
Yeah, probably. Kong wore a camouflage gi, and you could not hide him no matter where he would be in any kind of setting. That is a big dude, a scary-looking guy, and I would not want to be stuck underneath of him.
Hell no.
Ever.
I think he weighed in at 365 pounds. For reference...
1 pound for every day of the year.
For reference, Billy Brown, the gentleman that was in the highlight for super heavyweight for ADCC, getting thrown, weighed in at 367 for that match. So those gentlemen are gigantic.
Yeah, that.
We don't see a whole lot of guys at the super heavyweight black belt. The bell curve
them
is small.
That big normally. Like
No, you'll see guys at like 280, 300. You don't see very many black belts above the 300 pound like weight. You just don't see it. It's very rare. We see it occasionally on Fight to Win, but every 10 cards maybe, 10 or more cards.
Yeah, you have to wait every once in a while to get a big guy like that.
And to get 2 big guys like that.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like we're getting 1 guy over 300 over super heavyweight. We're getting 2 guys in the same region.
It always reminds me of that picture they meme it out and they say different things on it, where it's the one giant purple belt versus the small purple belt.
Yeah, and it said, do absolute, they said. It'll be great, they said.
That guy on the bottom is actually like affiliated with Balance.
Is he really?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. I'll have to double check.
That's an old picture, though.
I'll have to double check with Phil.
Okay.
But I think he said that he was part of like the association. So
that's really funny.
Yeah.
So go find the picture. It's basically the thing. The picture is you can search. It's like
one guy's like 450 pounds, and the other guy is obviously not even close to that.
Yeah, and
he's inside.
He's in bottom scarf hold basically.
Yeah.
But it's not even like a scarf hold. He's just on the bottom, and you can't quite tell what position he's in, but he's on the bottom.
Looks miserable.
And it's a pretty great meme.
Let's keep going. Tristan Lasek defeated Marcus Porter by armbar. Andy Burke defeated Dustin Peak by heel hook. Gabrielle McComb defeated Liz Carmouche by split decision. And she had a lot of hype coming into this, Liz Carmouche did. And, understandably so. She's a pretty solid wrestler. She's a good submission fighter.
Very good MMA fighter.
That as well. Just couldn't pull it out.
No, it was close. I mean, you get the split decision. It's real close, but she looked good. I'm happy that we're seeing Carmouche on more of these. We saw her in Subversive. We've seen her in this, and I'm happy we're seeing her in more submission grappling because she's exciting, and she's got very, very good. She really showcases women's no-gi well in an exciting format. She really pushes a pace on the feet, and she's not one to stall. So I like seeing her on these events. It's good.
All right. Carrying on, we have Rolando Sampson, not Holando, but, Rolando. Rolando Sampson defeating Paul Wu by armbar. Jacob Lee defeating Jeff Reel by split decision. Analia Calzada defeating Charissa Sigala by knee bar.
And that was submission of the night for the black belts. This was a good one. Go back and watch the submission of the nights. It was
and
it
they
was good.
have the full event up, so it's one giant clip. But I personally enjoy that more than the singular clips.
Yeah, you and me both. Like I love watching the whole event and just like leaving it on and then having it up. I have a multiple screen display, so I'll be doing something while I'm watching Fight to Win another screen. I love doing that throughout the week. I love when it's up like Monday or Tuesday. I actually edit the show a lot of times while having Fight to Win on in the background.
Right on. Peter Frank defeating Johnny Tama by decision.
And that was fight of the night for the black belts. Again, deservedly fight of the night. Like a really good back and forth, exciting match. There was, I want to say, a lot of back and forth leg lock attempts, and it was a very, very exciting match. It was actually one I had as fight of the night as well. So I'm pleased that I got it right.
Sergio Rios defeating Michael Trasso by decision. Ricky Lulay defeating Adam Mazin by decision. Ben Dyson defeating Jesse Taylor by triangle.
That was a bit of a, not an upset win, but surprising to people because Jesse Taylor's a big name. So to see a guy see a big name get submitted by a guy you're less familiar with is always
But is Jesse a legitimate black belt? Like,
is he a black belt or brown belt?
I don't know.
He won the Ultimate Fighter thing. I think he is a black belt.
I
know he's a black belt because he's on the black belt card here. He's obviously a black belt. I just we see him on Onnit. I think we're seeing him on Onnit again here in next week as well.
We'll see. I'm not like questioning his skill, but I'm just saying, is he actually one or does he just train nogi? Either way, James Lawson defeats Mike Velez by decision. Juan Mob defeating Alfredo Barrum by rear naked choke. And Dominic Damian defeating Ben Eddy by decision. Does that make him the lineal CJJ champion?
I think technically it's a different rule set, so it doesn't. But you can make an argument. So on to the brown belt results.
On to the brown belts. Richard Lopez defeating Steven Wagner by choke. Vinicius Lino defeating Ricky Nunez by footlock. Keith Krikorian defeating Mateus Luna by split decision.
And that was fight of the night for the brown belts. There's a really cool time ran out, and Keith goes ham on this heel hook, and Mateus just kind of no-sells it. And is able to
he went for his own footlock as well while that was going on to, I guess, counterbalance it. I don't know which was tighter or not.
Keith did the thing that guys do when they have the footlock, though. He had his arms clasped, he turned, and he went back with the foot. It looked like he had it, so I don't know. I watched the video a couple times. I'm not sure exactly what Luna did here to alleviate the pressure on his knee, but he did it well.
Who knows?
And then just no-selled it.
Keith had some pretty sweet hair, too.
He had that for trials.
I didn't watch all the trials yet.
Okay.
I still haven't. But
that's how busy you've been recently.
Yes. But he had some pretty sweet hair. I would have given him a decision just on that.
Josh, not biased or anything.
No. That, and still, though, one loss at trials is the only loss for him this year, right?
Yeah, I think he's 75-1 this year. Or something crazy like that. Like, literally, Ethan Krellestein loss is the only loss he's taken this year. And he's been that active. We have covered the dude on probably less than half of what he's done this year. And he's not taking a loss. No. It's been ludicrous to watch.
Keith, I've already read that one. We just talked about it. Zach Lacates? What do you think?
You're the name guy, man. You said you were, so.
Lacates. Let's go with Lacates. And if I'm wrong, he can message us and say I'm an idiot. Defeated Sean Najar by heel hook.
And that was submission of the night for the brown belts.
And James Baldwin defeated Chris Ritchie by Darce.
On to the purple belt results.
Terrence Souser. Man, maybe I'm not as good with the names as I thought it was. Terrence Souser defeating Marco Martinez by decision.
And that was fight of the night for the purple belts.
Adam Bradley defeating Braylor Grout by heel hook.
That was submission of the night for the purple belts.
Bray Stick defeating Heather Morgan by toe hold.
Josh, you rusty as shit right now.
I am.
You've had a couple weeks off. Actually, you had a couple months off of like not having to read through the names without butchering them all.
Yeah.
I've had to fill the gap with Emil, and it's been rough in some places.
Anyway, Alexandria Whitlock defeating Amber Rowe by decision. Heather Woods defeating Mariana Gill by decision. Igor the Fat Ninja, and yes, that is his Instagram name and nickname. So I'm not making fun of him. That's his chosen nickname. Tanabe defeating Diego Vazquez by decision. Igor, if I'm not mistaken, is like an up-and-coming purple belt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype behind him, and he kind of you know what now that I think about it more, he is like he's Brazilian, but he's also of Japanese descent. He looks sort of like the Asian Bigfoot Silva.
Oh my God, he kind of does.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I just realized that.
That dude's got a big noggin.
Dude, he also has really good hip movement here.
Oh, he moves and grooves. I don't know 100% why he's called the Fat Ninja, because he's not super fat by any means.
No.
And there were certain points, because we Instagram stalked him, that he was even more shredded. So I don't know if maybe he just had a chubby face and they were like, hey, we're going to call you the Fat Ninja. And he was like, cool, whatever. I don't know, but that kid can move and groove.
I don't know what weight class this was. I missed the weight maybe during the broadcast, but man, if he is as big as I think he is, he has insane hip movement for being that size. He's shooting up triangles and going for arms and like inverting. Like he can do some stuff you don't see guys do at that speed that big. So
yeah,
I was impressed there.
The way he threw up that triangle at one point, or just the way he would bail out of things, and
you just don't see big guys move that way with their hips. I mean, there's a reason why he's an up and coming guy. You go through his Instagram, you look at like what he's winning and the frequency in which he's winning. It's pretty impressive. He is definitely a guy to watch coming up in the purple belt scene. I assume he's going to get brown relatively soon with all the wins he has at purple. I bet
you they'll make him do worlds.
They'll make him do worlds, and then he'll go to brown.
205, by the way, weight
no
class.
Shit, he's that big.
Both of those guys were really moving.
Yeah, this was a fun match.
Indeed, that's another one that you should go back and watch. Let's see, where were we? Okay, Nicole Aguirre, Nicole Almazan. There we go. Thrown in Aguirre, I don't know. Nicole Almazan defeating Kimberly Bowser by decision. I almost couldn't read Kimberly for a second.
I saw that. Like, we're gonna have a little Leonard.
Yes,
here.
Leonard. Matt Cox defeated Carl Boudreaux by split decision, and Ricky Brasino defeating Seymour Lewis by decision.
On to the teen results.
Xavier Silva defeated Victor Bonato by decision,
and that was Friday the night for the teens.
Gil Pereira defeating Josh Webb by decision. Bailey Lopp defeating Nathan Otter by split decision, and Zoe Chiles?
I think it's Chiles. Something like that.
Defeating Daniela Perez by rear naked choke.
And that was submission of the night for the teens.
Oh, man.
So this whole event's up, and it was great. We were watching some of this during Jim
our holiday party. Yes.
Holiday party, Josh.
That's right, because Hanukkah is technically tonight, Sunday, December 2nd.
Really?
When we're recording this.
Isn't it like 8 days of Hanukkah? Isn't that a thing?
Yes.
Is it the first day?
It runs until next Monday.
So it's the first day of Hanukkah.
First night.
Hanukkah.
Not
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Okay. So it's the first night of Hanukkah. This probably sounds great on the audio podcast.
Spelled with a C. C-H.
Yeah, I know.
Not H-A.
Yeah.
And not H-A-N-N-U-A-K-A-H.
That's the phonetic spelling of Hanukkah.
C-H-A-N-U-K-A-H.
Yeah, Josh is like, I got to do quick recording tonight because I got to do Hanukkah stuff.
Oh, no. That wasn't that. I was doing Hanukkah before we even came. This is the first year we're doing it for my kids. That's purely why we're doing it. I am zero religious in anything. We're like, hey, guys, you want to do Hanukkah? And they were like, 8 nights of presents? Yes. So
pretty great.
We're going through the whole spiel.
Awesome. So that whole event's up. Go back and watch it. It was a lot of fun. So switching gears here, we got Emil back.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. So how's your weekend?
Yeah, it's outstanding, man. I was over in Philly, and I fucking love Philly, man.
Of all the places, why do you love Philly?
It's got awesome food,
You and
dude.
Matt both love Philly.
Yeah, it's a good city, man.
I mean,
it's an awesome city.
That's a little much, but I'll give you it's okay.
Okay.
It is like comparing it to Baltimore, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And by the way, welcome back, Josh. Even it's good to have you back even for a little bit.
Yeah. was good to have him back. Good to have him read some names and not take the pressure off us for a minute.
Yeah.
And then remember, he can also butcher names as well. So very happy to have that win in my bag.
Yep.
So continuing on to the event recaps, we're going to recap finishers finishers only 7. This event took place December 1st at 10th Planet Bethlehem, Finishers MMA. Shout out to Zach, by the way, Zach Mazzolani, for just really doing a great job of informing us of this event and like keeping us updated with his event and giving us places for results and like basically letting us cover his event.
Yeah, this is absolutely delightful, and the 10th Planet Bethlehem guys are awesome too. So
yeah, so it's great to see them putting on another event, and this event is all up on their YouTube? Yeah, Finishers YouTube page. Go look at it. It's got no audio, but that's because they're playing music in the background. So all the matches are up. And shout out to MMA, My MMA News. They have a full write-up of the whole event by Laura Kent, and really great. Take a look at it. It's got everything listed out. So first super fight, we had Odua Kayed defeating Joseph Mujahid. He gets him with a heel hook, and these guys were actually competed against each other before. This is a really active back-and-forth match, and Kayed gets him with a heel hook at 4:38.
And by the way, I'll interject here. EBI rule set. Obviously,
like
yeah.
I kind of got ahead of myself there, Emil. I got excited.
10th Planet, they're going to be EBI rules just like everybody else who's doing sub-only events.
Pretty much, yeah, dude. That is the standard rule set for like everything. It works really well. There's some other promotions that are just doing. They're popping up just doing sub only, but these guys still have the overtime rules and keeps the event running really well. I think the whole event is like 3.5 hours long. It's right in that perfect window of time that we like, where it doesn't just like drag on. It's just like bop, gets it done.
If it goes more than an NFL game in length, then it starts to get a little bit long. But any 3.5 hours and under. Boom,
NFL
perfect.
games are like all the commercials and shit. They just take forever.
This is way more exciting. So, but the rules are important because there's a number of matches that are determined by EBI overtime.
Yeah, the fastest escape, and that becomes important. So on to the flyweight tournament. Again, I love that these guys are showcasing the flyweights because we don't see a whole lot of organizations putting on men's flyweight brackets. And the winner of this event goes into the Ultimate Mat Warriors 4. They have a buy into that, so that's super exciting. They as well are also going to showcase the men's flyweights, which I just don't think get a lot of love. And it's great to see the smaller guys getting showcased on an event like this. So first match we had Tadaya Danafort versus Henry Guevara, and Danafort wins by fastest escape time in overtime. Then we have Austin Daffrin versus Sam Michael. Is it Michael or
it's Michael? Yeah,
it is Michael. Okay,
yep.
We spoke to him like at length at SAGC after he won the title at SAGC, and I realized that I was like, is it Mikhail or is it Michael or is it something else?
No, I remember because we were both like way overcomplicating it, and then
he was like, it's Michael.
It's Michael.
I was like, oh, that's way similar. Thanks, Sam. So Daffrin wins by heel hook and regulation, real quick. And Sam made an interesting post on his Instagram about talking about the game plan going in, and just basically made a mistake and got heel hooked.
Yeah, that's the danger of heel hooks. It's if for a split second you're off balance or you're standing in the wrong position, then you're exposed.
And guys at 125 are so quick.
Yep.
Like there's that. After you get below like 155, the guys every 10 pounds get so much faster, and that was super evident during this entire event. Was just the speed at which guys would transition and pull out of everything.
And at 155 and under too, the ability to lift someone to get to the best positioning for leg attacks is so much easier. You see people being able to absolutely unbalance people and then take the superior position.
They can just do these absolutely crazy transitions in that weight class, so it's super exciting. So next match we had Setenta Cuatro versus Mikey Sanchez, and Sanchez wins by rear naked choke in overtime. Next we had Josh Rodriguez versus Chris Crawford. We had Crawford winning by Darce choke in the regulation time. This is actually, at this point, this was the longest match of the event so far.
And that's Jose Rodriguez,
that's
by the way.
Me talking to my ass. The first match, Danaher went to overtime. So next match we had Taliesin Soares versus George Tassa. Soares wins by fastest escape in overtime. Next match, man, I always forget how the first round of these brackets are always real long.
Yep.
So usually we skip to the quarters or the semis, but for this, it's the whole event was really cool. And there's, again, the flyweights don't get enough love. I think it's maybe because I'm a small guy. I just feel the need.
We're seeing the UFC completely do away with the flyweight division.
That's
so I think
fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's bananas.
I can't believe they're doing that,
because
if you look at the finish percentage, those guys finish a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of thinks they don't, but Demetrius Johnson was finishing dudes constantly in title fights.
Just smaller guys, and it's everyone wants to see the baddest dude in the room, and so they always look to the heavier weights for that. So
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like the heaviest guys are the white guys that win absolute.
yeah, exactly. And even though the technique, I think on the whole, is way better at the lower weight classes, that's where the interest skews up, obviously. So
Yeah, I agree. So we have Mark Long versus Kevin Dantzler, and Dantzler wins via rear naked choke in overtime. We had Eric Naples, Maple Syrup, versus Albert Tapa, and Tapa wins via fastest escape in overtime. The last one of the first round matchups, we had Ricky. Give me that name, Emil. Weatherall versus Jimmy Santiago, and Weatherall wins by heel hook in regulation. On to the next super fight, we have Calamilo Oliveras versus Devin Vogel, and Vogel wins via rear naked choke in overtime. I like that the super fights also run to the EBI rules.
Yeah.
They're not just like draw or win. It's like they're doing the entire card with the same rule set. We cover a lot of events, and sometimes they'll switch up the rule set for the super fights, and sometimes it's really hard for us to understand, like, okay, like, why is this different all of a sudden?
We've covered events that have sometimes 3 rule sets within
5.
We've
seen Rise. Rise will have they have their preliminary matches have a different rule set, and then some of those have different like purple belt, brown belt rule sets, and then they'll have like super fight rule sets, and they'll have a different set for super fight rule sets. Then they'll have their tournament format, and then they'll have like other. It's just crazy. Like when I ever watch Rise, I will have their rules up on one page, their competitors up on another page, and the event up on the other page because it's so many complicated rule sets. So shout out to you guys for keeping it the same rule set for the entire event.
Consistency.
Again, it's not a bad thing. The rule set changes, but it's very hard to follow unless you have other documents up. And if you're just going to sit and watch an event, I like when the rule sets are the same.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. So we have on to the quarterfinals. We have today Danaher versus Austin Daffrin, and Austin Daffrin wins via heel hook in 26 seconds. I'm pretty sure this is the fastest sub of the night.
Yeah, that's dumb fast.
Yeah, dude, 26 seconds is like you got in, tied up, heel hook, and it's
places to be, man.
Places to be. Anything under 30 seconds is you got places to be. So next we have Mickey Sanchez versus Chris Crawford, and Sanchez wins via rear naked choke in overtime. We have Taliesin. Give me the name.
Soares.
Oh, Soares. Right. I keep reading his middle name there, and I realize it's just Taliesin Soares versus Kevin Dantzler, and Soares wins via straight ankle lock in regulation. Final match of the quarterfinals, we have Albert Tapia versus Ricky Weatherall, and Tapia wins via fastest escape in overtime. Next super fight, we have Valor Boyer versus Timothy Nakamura. What'd you say it was?
McNamara.
I'm not so good at the reading today.
Okay. McNamara wins by rear naked choke in overtime.
On to the flyweight semifinals.
Austin Daffrin versus Mickey Sanchez. Daffrin wins by heel hook in regulation, 47 seconds.
So if you realize this is Daffrin's third win. Okay, he wins by heel hook in the semifinals in 47 seconds. He wins in 26 seconds in the quarterfinals, and then he wins in the first round by 50 seconds. He has had under 2 minutes, about 2 minutes of mat time at this point going into the quarterfinals. This is what happens when you see these EBI rule sets. Now he's going into the finals.
That's efficiency, man.
Dude,
that is super efficiency right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we saw Craig Jones do this at EBI a while back versus Gordon Ryan. It was just like in, out, in, out, in, out. You're like, okay, well, he's in the finals now, and other guys have had to go to overtime and other stuff. So, like, he's super fresh. And so that is always a dangerous thing to put a guy like him at the end, heel hooking everyone into the finals. Like,
especially these overtimes where it's not just an overtime where you're kind of like, in a neutral position. You are spending the entire time either attacking or defending someone trying to rip your head off.
Because it's not you can't rest in overtime.
No, not this overtime. No,
not in the EBI rules.
No,
I mean you get some guys will kind of shell up, but you're still having to actively defend the entire time, and you have a guy building riding time. So it's like even if you win, you've had to hold the other guy for an equal amount of time.
Yep.
If you can't sub him or they can't sub you.
That's an uphill battle. So all the more that I think about it, the more you really don't. I feel like relying on overtime as a strategy in EBI rules can be a liability because you stack up a lot and you really have that.
Because you get a guy like Daffrin that goes through his side of the bracket in 2 minutes. You're like, cool, you had to get
have
overtime.
2 minutes of riding time in a single match.
It's not even that long. Riding time goes to 5 minutes. So it's like, that's not even that long. So now you've had to go for 15 or 25 minutes, maybe. Very possible.
Yeah. Think about that. You're like almost doubling the amount of time if you have to go into overtime each single time. You know,
just in overtime alone. That doesn't even include the match time.
Right. I'm saying you could double the amount of like.
Oh yeah, easily.
You know, so it's
puts you in a
interesting.
really good spot. So it's like really emphasizes you got to submit fast, or else you get a guy that's fresh at the end and you're tired, and like that's probably not going to end well.
Yep.
Spoiler for a minute here. Back to the final super fights, we have Manny Vasquez versus Grant Kitchter, and Vasquez wins by rear naked choke in regulation. On to the finals, we have Austin Dafron versus Albert Tapia, and Dafron wins by rear naked choke in regulation. Absolutely stellar performance from Dafron.
And that one's also 31 seconons, so he's
finished
efficient.
This entire event in under 2.5 minutes.
That's bananas.
Like you won $1,600. Like that's a great payout.
Yeah.
For an event like this.
Yeah, for 2.5 minutes of work.
2.5 minutes of work.
I know there's way more training
plus
and all that.
Your weight cutting and your prep.
But
and
still, that's impressive.
That's a pretty good payday. You know, you drive out, you do an event, $1,600, and like so. Props to him and props to these guys for running a great event. It's up, it's free. Go watch it. A lot of fun. Really love covering these guys and their events. So moving into the hot spicy preview section. Not sure why I call it the hot and spicy preview section.
It's a hot and spicy fucking week, dude.
It is a hot and spicy week. Dude, there's so many events this weekend.
Yeah.
It is absolutely ludicrous. So Polaris 8 kicks off Sunday, December 9th. That'll be sometime in the U.S. I don't know what time it is. Usually runs like midday, honestly. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Midday. It's a UK promotion, and it is stacked.
Yeah.
In the main event, we have Keenan Cornelius versus Craig fucking Jones.
Yeah, this match, obviously, like, what can I say about both of these dudes? They're Keenan is.
Have we seen these guys together before? Did they meet at ADCC or not?
I think they have met before.
Do they have a super fight or something?
I feel like they have met before.
And we should know this.
I want to say Keenan took it, but
I think he did. Yeah, he took it. I forget why.
I could be pulling this completely out of my ass. We know that Keenan Cornelius is a wizard in the fucking gi, and we know Craig Jones is a wizard in no gi. And that's
But people have kind of figured out Jones a little bit.
I know, exactly.
They kind of know his game. They kind of know what he's going to do.
And here's the thing. I haven't put the numbers together, but I think I'm going to put together another graphic on kind of like recent activity stuff. And I know that Keenan is ranked number 3 overall by the IBJJF, I think.
And he should honestly be higher because of the world's fiasco.
Yes.
And the shit with Gaudio.
Yeah, that was fucking ridiculous.
So he should probably be at 2.
So in terms of activity, there's basically nobody who's as active in premier tournaments. Now there's a lot of opens in there and stuff like that, but Keenan...
So you're talking from a points perspective for the IBJJF for Keenan.
Yes, but overall, I mean, like, that's huge, you know, like Keenan is racking up experience, you know,
most of it's
XP
doing
points.
Mostly gi stuff though.
Mostly gi stuff.
And Craig Jones is doing pretty much all no-gi. He's done a couple gi matches here with like DJ Jackson and stuff, but primarily doing no-gi.
I've never seen Keenan lose a step in no-gi though.
I don't see him fantastic.
I don't see him lost in no-gi, you know, and those Atos dudes, like, everyone thinks about them in gi, but like they're fucking monsters in no-gi too.
That's a good point, actually. Like a lot of those guys I think of as no-gi guys, but really like they do both pretty much equally well. Like they're a gym.
You think of them as gi guys?
No, but not. I think of Barbosa as a no-gi guy, but he's not. He's a gi guy. But like Hinger's a gi guy and no-gi. Like they all are guys that train both.
ADCC,
right, and Worlds.
Fucking Hafa, you know.
Right, all those guys really they are. Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that is a gym that really of guys that are elite in gi and no gi. I didn't consider that.
They're understated with it, but like, I think Keenan's equally fucking good in no gi.
So you think this is Keenan's match to lose in no gi?
I think so. You know, like if we just look at recent activity, and I'll try to put together a graphic this week for it. I just see Keenan taking this.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think Craig will be able to catch him. But we saw Craig beat Low, but guys have kind of figured out his game a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of exploded out onto ADCC, and since then, you know, he's had some really monster submissions in quintet and stuff. But like, he hasn't had
versus elite guys. We've seen him kind of get.
He hasn't stormed a tournament the same way that he did ADCC 2017.
Quintet, he did have that performance. He did have those performances in quintet that were stellar. So I don't want to take that away from him.
Oh yeah, no, but like I said, monster submissions in quintet. But
I agree.
But yeah, we'll see. You know,
It's a hell of a
I
main
fucking
event,
love
though.
watching Craig Jones.
And it's on Fight Pass, which
yeah.
is like $10 a month.
Hell yeah.
Which I literally realized that I've barely watched the UFC on Fight Pass now. I watch Quintet and Polaris and EBI.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
I've turned Fight Pass in from like I used to watch literally every single card the UFC put on, and now I only watch like the grappling they have on.
Yeah.
So they've turned it into like a full service.
They're absolutely starting to fill it with awesome events. So.
Yeah. So on to the next matchup, unless you got anything else to add on that one. We have Wagner Hosha versus Benson Henderson.
Yeah.
Again, I think this is Wagner's match to lose.
I agree. Like again, and
It's
I
another
totally
another
agree.
no-gi bout. It's not in the gi.
It's that, and you look at recent activity, and you know Wagner's way more active.
I think the last
grappler.
time we saw Benson was either a fight to win or it was him versus AJ in one of the matches of the year where he double-legged him off the stage and everyone laughed.
Right.
That was that stellar match. So again, this is exciting. I hope Wagner pushes a pace here. I know he's going to slap Henderson in the face, and Henderson's not going to have his hair tied up. I think it's funny that in the promotional picture, Henderson has his hair tied back, and in reality, like that will be tied up for about 30 seconds in the match, and then Wagner will slap him in the face 3 times. The ref will warn Wagner. Wagner will try to do the hand thing he did to Marcin Held. And Benson will go and not give it to him again, and then we'll do jiu-jitsu. I have a feeling that's the first 2 minutes of this match is how it's going to play out.
Outstanding. Yeah, I'm sure it is, and it's going to be dope. But yeah, I see Wagner taking this. So
yeah, do you think he takes it by decision? I think he takes it by decision. I don't think he submits Benson.
I think he submits him.
What do you think takes it back?
Yeah, I think he rear naked chokes him.
Okay, dude, Benson's a hard guy to get though. We've seen
sort of, but like we've seen Benson get kind of handled by jiu-jitsu talent.
We have, but we've also seen him put on like really good performances where he's like
versus AJ.
All right, well you're not wrong.
Like that was a wrestling match, you know, like
yeah, you're right.
It was mostly on the feet.
And Henderson's a pretty good wrestler.
Wagner is a submission specialist,
but Wagner's wrestling is pretty good, but we don't see Wagner shoot a ton.
Yeah,
he's really a guard pass. I don't think Benson's gonna sit. I don't think Wagner's gonna sit, and that's kind of why I'm like, it could be a closer match because
maybe I don't know. I could see Wagner. Like we saw him doing a lot of 50-50.
Where's Taquino?
Yeah,
that fight to win.
Taquino, yep. So
yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. So I could see him maybe taking that.
I think he gets the decision, but I can definitely see what you say and him getting the back and getting the sub.
Yeah.
Match under that, we have Mansour Kara versus Ross Nichols.
I got Ross on this one.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, Ross.
Coming off ADCC, coming off those good performances.
And
yeah, he's looking really
good. He just beat Johnny Grippo too. You know, like he's.
Oh yeah, different rule set though. I think Polaris has points,
but still, I mean, like that's, you know, he's on fire recently.
Yeah, I think this is all these matchups on the main card are just amazing.
I'm trying to think what was Munch like.
Wasn't he last time we saw him was Craig Jones, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Last Polaris.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's
Nichols has been way more active. I think we're forgetting something Mancher's been on.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're forgetting. Was it Kasai?
Maybe. I can't remember. Yeah. I think it was Kasai or yeah. There was something recently, something in the past month. And I'm getting my events mixed up now.
Yeah, welcome to a couple. See, you've been doing this for a couple months now. It all blurs together.
That's right.
Eventually, so Matt, you got anything else on that?
No, but you know, ADCC trials win is fucking huge.
So we don't usually pick events. We're trying to pick these. This is super stressful now.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking like, okay, how is he gonna get him? What is he gonna do? I'm like, this is super stressful to pick events.
In this event, I started to think about recent activity.
The matchups are so good though. All these matchups make a lot of sense.
Yes,
right now, I think,
agree.
which is why I think it's easier for us to pick them because it's also guys we see so frequently. We've seen for so many years. We kind of know what their games look like.
Right.
And we're not like, I don't know what he's going to do here. It's like, I've seen him against a similar guy before. This is most likely what he'll do based upon past performances because these are like the cream of the crop guys that we've seen have a legacy of career.
On that note, how do you see the next match going? Satoshi Ishii versus Daniel Strauss.
So Strauss is something interesting here. He was like, I don't care if I get Ipponed 20 times. I'm not going to have a boring match. And I think we saw Satoshi versus Frank Mir recently.
Right.
I think that's the most recent we've seen Satoshi. Dude, he looks jacked. They put out a promotional video this week of him just in the gym, just like throwing and lifting weights. Like, he is huge. But Strauss is also fucking huge.
Yeah, I saw his fucking strength training, like, strongman fucking basement man cave thing. It's fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Like he's ridiculously jacked. So
both of these, this is an
let's
absolute no-gi
let's
match.
say Satoshi Ishii throws Strauss. How does that go, right?
I think Strauss gets back to the butterfly guard.
Yeah.
And lifts him, elevates him. But I don't think, good luck getting on top of Satoshi.
Yeah.
I see this going to decision.
Yeah. I do
both
too.
these guys are stupid hard to sub and stupid hard to finish.
Yep.
We've seen them both on quintet
Yep.
repeatedly. I see this going to decision, and
I agree.
I think it's gonna be a close decision either way.
Yeah. It's going to be an entertaining match for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So next match, this whole card is so fucking good. Is Masuke Imanari versus Nicky Ryan. Again, it's
Nicky
Nicky's
Ryan.
match to lose.
Yeah. Nicky Ryan, hands down.
I think he gets his back, and I hope they play heel hooks.
We've seen this play out already, where the kind of like new age leg lockers versus the old school leg lockers.
Dude,
And
whenever they put Nicky up against a guy anywhere over 30, he just does Nicky Ryan stuff.
yeah, it's a different ball game, man.
Oh, he's so good.
It's a completely different ball game.
I think he gets Imanari's back, and I think he chokes Imanari.
Interesting. So you don't think he's gonna go for leg attacks versus
No.
Imanari? Okay.
Because Nicky, he did a couple years ago a lot, but we really have seen him taking the back recently. Him and his brother have both kind of gone
Gone to
from
the back
leg
system.
stuff to just taking the back, getting control, getting that body triangle, fighting the hands down, and getting the neck. Him and his brother have kind of switched in the past, really post ADCC.
Yeah.
So I think he gets his back.
Yeah, I think they probably started doing that more with the EBI rule set.
Yeah. Now, personally, I hope they play legs. I hope we see Imanari, but we've kind of seen that match before, Imanari versus Tonin.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw it it was Polaris, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think we saw it at Polaris, and we saw Tonin versus Aoki on 1FC. Really, him and Imanari are really similar. That's what I think happens.
Yep.
But again, I'm super excited for it. It's a dope matchup. Again, building Nicky up as this. He's already a huge star. I'm not saying building him up, but there's so many exciting matchups for him because he's so young. I want to see if they throw him into the West Coast Trials for ADCC.
Oh, for sure.
You think they will?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? He was a last minute sub for ADCC.
Right.
So,
but he didn't do the East Coast Trials.
But he was supposed to, and I think he pulled out.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, you're right. I remember that now.
So I'm almost certain he'll be at.
Because this is a featherweight bout.
ADCC
This is
West Coast.
65 kilograms.
Yep.
So great. Next match, final match of the main card, first match of the main card, technically.
We got Santeri Lilas and Pedro Bessa. So.
Then on to the preliminary card. We have Tom Haplin versus Brett Johns. We have Kieran Davern versus Matty Holmes. We have Mary McKnight versus Brian Jennings.
It's Harry McKnight. Yep.
What'd I say?
Hey, Mary.
Oh, my bad. I completely missed that. Paul Redmond versus Chris Ewers. We have Freddie Vosgrove versus
Lou Long.
We saw Freddie 2 weeks ago on Grapple Fest.
Yep.
Dude, I'm super excited. This is going to be exciting. I hope he comes out in the singlet again.
Yeah.
And I hope he pulls guard just for the fuck of it.
It'll be dope.
Yeah. So then we have God, you're doing the rest of these names, Emil.
Inga Mellis and Jamie Hughes. We got Ben Robson versus Jay Butler. Ash Amos versus Shane Price.
You think they're going to put Ash Amos as the opener?
I guess so. Jeez.
Yeah. So
Man,
this
it's
is
a stacked event.
This is a dope card. I'm super excited for this. It looks outstanding. Definitely one to tune in for. You got anything else, Emil?
No, that's it.
Watch all our predictions be wrong.
Yeah, no,
in true grappling rewind fashion. Watch everyone finish in 10 seconds on a heel hook. It's
that'll be exciting, man.
Well, that happened.
You know, if things go unpredictably, that means it's an exciting card. So,
yeah. All right, so that does it for that event. So on to our preview of Onnit 10. This event has two tournaments. It has a 135-pound tournament and a 205-pound tournament, as well as a bunch of super fights. And for commentary, they have none other than Lovato Jr.
Yeah, he's proven himself to be one of the best commentators in grappling. He's fucking amazing. His analysis is great.
Dude, and he just retained the belt at Fight to Win for light heavyweights. So
yeah, he's a badass, man.
Dude, and he's fighting Musasi for the belt in Bellator, as
Yep.
Josh called it, punchy kicky.
Yeah.
So this event looks outstanding. We have a 135-pound tournament. The recipients in the tournament.
Competitors
in the tournament. Again, as per usual in Grappling Rewind fashion, this is Monday at about 6 o'clock when Emil and I are recording. We do not have brackets at this time, so we're just going to give you the competitor names. We have Brock Kennedy. We have Ray DeLeon. We got Ray.
Yep.
Excited to see him again. We have Daniel Savage. We have Jacob Harris. We have Jimmy Santiago. We just saw Jimmy on finishers this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
Very
Nathan
active.
Torres. We have Andrew Tackett, and we have Vinny Sains. This is a good ass tournament.
It's a fucking great ass tournament. We got Kyle Bame.
They're in the 205s now.
I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. Huge leap in size. Kyle Bame is fucking awesome. Quentin Rosenwig, Kevin Holland, Kevin Crane, Roberto Jimenez, who's fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's super entertaining to watch. Definitely tune into all of his matches. Reed Shelger, Bubba McDaniels,
Bubba McDaniels.
Alec Hubin, and now onto the super fights.
We got Elizabeth Clay versus Maddie Fernandez. We have, give me that name, Emil.
Apollonia Nuencio versus Carly Rodriguez.
We have Sergio Gargio versus Christian
Guajardo. Yep.
Sergio Guajardo versus Christian Davis.
Yep.
We have Alex Magna versus Bill Watts. We have Node Liat versus Jeremiah Vance. Oh shit. Jeremiah Vance is on this.
Yeah.
We have the matchup that I'm probably the most excited about in this entire card.
This is going to be good.
Frank Rosenthal versus Marvin Castell.
Yeah, that's going to be fucking awesome.
So, do you think there's no way they do anything other than play foot battle?
Oh, no, it's going to be a huge fucking foot battle. It's, this is classic. We've seen this match, this kind of stylistic matchup a bunch now.
I bet these guys have met each other before. We're just missing that.
The Henzo guys versus the 10th Planet guys. Yeah.
Now, my question is, what weight class is this at? Because I don't know.
Rosenthal,
I can see it at 35. I could see it at 45.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have no idea.
Both these guys are always like a weight class below what I think they are for some reason. But this is exciting. Like this will be a hella, because Frank's been just heel hooking dudes like that, and Marvin's been doing the same thing. So this is a battle of the guys that are gonna Imanari roll to your legs and take your foot off.
Yep.
I think Frank's match at Rise was like 8 seconds or something, or like 10, or I think was it 15 seconds? Or something
like that.
Him and Rao both was like, oh, cool, we're done.
Yep.
It was like, oh, shit. So that's super exciting. After that, we got Elliot Marshall versus Jeremy May. We got, oh, shit.
Adam Piccolotti versus Danny Castillo.
You know who Adam, that's Pico.
Oh, shit.
That's Adrian Pico.
Oh,
I think,
man.
unless I'm fucking wrong.
Huh, well, we'll find out.
I'm probably wrong there. That's a great match. On the picture, it looked like him, and I was like, is that his actual name? I should really look that up. So that's an exciting match. It's a 155-pound match. And then we have Nathan Orchard versus, give me the name there?
Thiago Macedo.
Okay, the last name kind of scared me there. So, dude, this whole card looks outstanding.
Yeah,
and with Lovato on the mic, like, it is going to be a treat to watch. I think it streams live on Facebook, on YouTube. But if you go to Onnit Live, just basically Google Onnit Live, and it'll be the first link that pops up. It usually is a direct stream through there. Last time I watched it on YouTube, and it was a chat on the side of it. It was great. You got to, like, chat with people watching the event as you're watching it. It was a lot of fun.
This is going to be outstanding, so
dude,
can't wait.
Love on it. They put on a great event, and go and watch it. So on to our preview of EBI 18, the female strawweights. Dude, this is one of the most stacked female EBIs they've ever had.
Yeah, props to EBI for putting on these tournaments and also for being the first ones to pay the women, equally. That's fucking awesome.
That's great. I mean, Black Belt CBD paid equally too and pay a lot, but EBI puts on the same format and offers the women the same pay for the same like win percentage.
Yeah, Black Belt CBD is kind of new to the scene, so I think in terms of who was doing it first, I think that was EBI, and this is stacked. I mean, they got tons of talent.
Dude, they have so many great women on this event. And again, so in true EBI format, we only have most of the names. We have like 13 or 14 names, and always with EBI, like Riaso Yusa is gone, and she was going to be in. She's world champion at the weight class, so. We have some of the names for EBI. We're going to give you what we have, and then brackets will be out sometime this week, hopefully. But again, even the names we have, if half these women show up, it is a showcase event for the strawweights for jiu-jitsu. So starting down the list, we have
Gabby Romero.
We got Fiona Watson.
We got Livia. How do you say that?
Livia Guchowska is how I say it. And
okay.
I probably could be wrong there. Dude, so many dope competitors. We have Tracy Goodell. We have Jessica Kahn. We have
Megan Parduccio.
Okay, I could not get the last name there. We got
Analilia Calzada.
We've seen her on Fight to Win before as well.
Rita Line.
We got Jenna Bishop. We have
Andreza Facania.
We've got
Gabrielle Villafuerte. We got Priscilla Herrera.
And then we have our EBI qualifier. Fabriana George. And that whole EBI qualifier is up. She hits a really dope, I forget what it's called. It's like a almost like a lat drop, like a sideways lat drop in the finals of this, and just puts on a really dominating performance. Go back, watch it. The EBI qualifier's up. It's a lot of fun.
Did we see Priscilla Herrera in Fight to Win? I feel like I think we've seen her on something recently. I think it was Fight to Win.
Wouldn't
like
have surprised me
a couple months ago,
or a qualifier or something. Again, she's a really active competitor. Might have been on it. I think it was on it last time.
Oh, that's probably
we saw her. We saw her last time.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So again, super active competitor. So many high level black belt women at this, which is uncommon for these women's events. So it's awesome to see.
Yep. This is how you build it and how you build up the sport. So it's awesome.
So watch it. Again, it's on Fight Pass, easy, accessible. I am amped for this event.
Hell yeah.
So on to our preview of Fight to Win 96 in Fresno, California. This event is main evented by 155-pound black belt gi title, Kleber Luciano versus Angel Lopez. Angel Lopez? Angel. Angel Lopez.
Yeah, I'm not sure, actually.
Co-main event, we have 155-pound black belt gi match, Cole Franson versus Bill the Grill Cooper.
Man, he's been active in Fight to Win.
Yeah,
both
of them have.
Like every 2 to 3 events almost, it feels like.
Dude, I love watching Bill Cooper. Dude, he puts on either an amazing dominant performance or he looks a little off.
Yeah.
So I hope we see that Bill Grill that's grabbing grips and just ripping and gripping, because he is exciting. And Cole Franson is a really active competitor too in the IBJJF scene. So I think he's a newer black belt, I want to say in the last 6 months. So it'll be really exciting to see these guys go back and forth. It's funny, Cyborg just posted a match that he had with Bill the Grill back like 10 years ago or something like that. And it was a really exciting back and forth match. And you're like, oh yeah, Bill's been competing for like since the dawn of time.
Yep.
And so it's cool. It's good to see him continue to compete. And he's the co-main event, deservedly so. We have a 180-pound black belt gi match, Tom Knox versus Alan Gumby Marquez. Dude, I love watching Gumby compete. He was on the mic a couple weeks ago, commentating for these guys, and so
doing a real fucking good job.
I love watching Gumby. 210-pound black belt gi match, Michael Martinez versus Eduardo Crema. We have a 180-pound black belt gi match, Gabriel Fonseca versus Emmanuel Rocha. I think we just saw Fonseca somewhere.
Yeah,
it's gonna burn me. 170-pound black belt gi match, Mark De La Cruz versus Chris Coldiron. We have a 170-pound black belt gi match, Bruce
Tafoya
versus
Ricardo Guimares.
I love how I give you all the Spanish names.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, what's up?
Well, it might be Portuguese, but who the fuck knows?
But you got it better than I do, because I'm going to butcher it even worse.
I might be just butchering it in a different way.
We have a 165-pound black belt no-gi match.
Dennis Abrego versus Noah Tillis.
We have a 155-pound black belt gi match.
Kyung Yoon versus Chris Tangonen.
We have a super heavyweight brown belt gi match.
Charles Rooney versus Frank Ruiz.
And we got a bunch more brown belt matches, but the one brown belt match that I want to particularly stop on and call attention to is a 210-pound brown belt gi match with the walkout wizard, walkout king himself, Troy Everett versus Ray
Ron.
Yes. So, dude, that's exciting. I hope Troy has a walkout plan, because he was on this event. He's not a late replacement for once.
Right. I was about to say, it's great to see him like in advance and not just like throwing a gi on.
I think I talked to him at Philly, and I was like, Troy, when's the next time you're on an event? And he goes, I might be on Fresno. So he's had some time to plan it. And we were talking about walkouts, and he goes, I got something planned. So we'll see if he's, because certain times, if he doesn't have enough time to prep, he can't, do a dope walkout. But I hope this is one of those times where he comes out. I still think the Backstreet Boys walkout was the best walkout. The Price is Right walkout was great. The Backstreet Boys walkout, though, it had me rolling. And then I realized that he had a jacket and it was the gi. It had me rolling. So that was great. Again, so many other great matches all along this. And this is coming off of the stellar event they had at Fight to Win 95 in San Diego this last weekend. So super excited for that. I don't think there's any other title fights on the card that I can see, but looks to be another great event. Take a look at it, watch it. So on to our preview of Toro Cup 12. This is an event that Josh is going to be competing on in a couple days.
Yummy.
So this weekend, Josh is going to be competing on Toro Cup 12. He is, where do you want to start, Josh? How do you want to preview this event?
So Toro Cup normally benefits something or another. It goes to a good cause. They put part of their proceeds towards something. This one's going towards Rudy Fishman. If you've been around a really long time and you were on like old jiu-jitsu forums, if you saw the name Rudini, that's him. He had brain cancer, so or still does at the moment. That I'm not 100% sure on, but it's to benefit him, to help out with bills and things like that, because
The jiu-jitsu community is pretty great.
You know, cancer blows, and the jiu-jitsu community is pretty super awesome. And so anything that goes towards 50% of the ticket sales are going towards benefiting Rudy. So if you are in the North Carolina area, swing on by. You'll be able to just get tickets, and they're not super expensive either, between $10 and $15. Come in, watch, see people compete, see me compete, I guess.
First time at black belt. It's an experience.
Technically, yes it is. So
we want to start for the previews then. So yeah, this event, I'm not sure. I don't think this event is going to be streamed.
No.
Some matches will probably pop up, but
I'm gonna ask if I can at least stream mine. So if that's the case, I will put it on the Grappling Rewind Facebook page and stream it that way. If not, we'll get some videos out, and I'll definitely get results out to Maine, and he'll be able to talk about it. So one of the big matches is their lightweight world title match. Daniel Frank versus DeAndre Corbray. And DeAndre's not been a black belt very long, but the kid is tough.
I used to see him at tournaments all the time as a brown belt, even as a purple belt, just crushing his division.
Yeah,
and I was very happy to not be in his division ever. It was great.
And Daniel Frank has been around for a really long time. He's also a tough competitor. So that'll be a really cool match to just witness, to sit there and watch them go at it. A few other matches: Matt Gordon versus Vernon Kirk. My match, yay! I'll get to that in a second. Dewan Owens versus Michael Whalen. What else? I'm literally reading off of like the clips.
Renan Mutliab versus Tulsa Simpson. We have Michael Kaya Giannis versus Joe Coleman.
Giannis versus Joel Coleman. What else do we have here? And if you hear any clicking, that's me playing on my computer to try to get these things going. Jared Hampton versus Ricky Saxton. A lot of these people are like local to the North Carolina, Virginia area, some Maryland guys, things like that. Samson Saucer versus Gavin Corbry, who is DeAndre's younger brother. Jeff Piercy versus Will Lucian. I think that's his name. Some of these cut off a little bit. All sorts of stuff. It's a good event. It supports a good cause. You get to see my goofy face compete no-gi. Oh yeah, Seth Smith is going to be on this. Love that guy. Probably the funniest person, one of the funniest people in jiu-jitsu. He has a number 2 tattoo, specifically because it's number 2, like poop, and that's really funny, at least to me. I am competing against Brian Nielsen from a Virginia gym. I don't look up my opponents like ever. I think it's stupid.
I look up everyone, Josh.
I don't. And they were like, "Who are you?" When I got the message from Bagels, who helps matchmake and everything, he was on his honeymoon, so you know the guy works even while he's on his honeymoon there. He was like, "Hey, do you want a match?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Is it going to be an issue because I may or may not be getting promoted to black belt? I don't know yet." He's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. He's a black belt." I was like, "Oh yeah, then I'm in. Cool. Doesn't matter." So I'm doing a no-gi match. It's going to be fun. I've been training no-gi mostly for the past couple of weeks. It feels really weird.
You got to train with your no-gi. I have not got to train with your no-gi since we did fighter training, and you back triangled me and punched me in the face with my own glove repeatedly.
Yeah, you got
I think
really
that was the last.
about that.
I think that was. I got upset with you, Josh. I was upset about that because you didn't take the fucking choke. You just kept hitting me. I got upset about it a little bit. It was early in the morning, and I was tired, and you were hitting me
with your own fist.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't take the choke. You just decided to continue to hit me. I was upset about that.
So that's a cool little thing that I'm involved in. I'm also turning it into like a little family trip. My kids haven't really seen a whole lot of North Carolina. We were there briefly because of, going to South Carolina. We stopped there for the night to go into a hotel, woke up, ate breakfast, and left. So we'll go around, see some stuff, have some fun. I'll compete. It's early in the morning, so that'll leave some space for exploring.
Do the rest
day.
of the day to do black belt stuff. Just everything you do now is black belt stuff.
Oh my God, you suck.
Yeah, I do.
You suck.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's really it. Again, I'll find out if I can stream anything, if I can stream the whole event, et cetera, et cetera. We'll find out.
You'll
And
find
then-
out, and you'll
then
find out from us.
We will let you know on the Instagram and the Facebook page, things like that. Twitter too, yeah, that thing.
All right. Whew. All right, so that does it. We have one more event. We have Dulo De Titans, which is Walter Panda versus Haisam Rida. It's in Angola. I know these guys are having a super fight against each other, but I can't find any additional information on it. And Emil and I looked for a little bit today, and I couldn't.
We'll post something if we find anything.
Yeah, Haisam Rida listed it on his Instagram probably like a month or two ago or something like that. And I saw it. I was like, oh, cool, I put it on our event list, but I can't find any information on it. So
Yeah.
those are both two dope competitors from that region. You
Yeah,
know,
keep an
Hasam's
eye
out of Japan, and Walter Panda I think is actually out of Angola or something like that. So excited for it if I can find it. But if somebody else finds it this week, let me know if they're streaming it. It would be cool to see those two go at it. So I think that does it for event previews. We only have, let me count, we have Fight to Win 96 in Fresno. We have Onnit 10. We have Toro Cup 12. We have Polaris 8. We have EBI and Dulo De Titans. Like, strap in, Emil.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
This is gonna be good.
Are you in
good,
next week?
Good show. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
thank God.
Yeah.
So your Friday through Sunday is fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What's up, Emil? Grappling Ryan status.
Yeah. Lots of jiu-jitsu to watch.
So other than watching, I think, well, how many events is it? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events, and we're probably not gonna be able to cover Dulo De Titans. So we have EBI, Polaris, Onnit, and Fight to Win. We have 5 events next week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big old week.
Yeah.
But we're coming up to Christmas, so we only have to do the top 10 show, and I still got to get everyone to submit their top 10 lists to the chat to be like, hey guys, what's your top 10 list for the year? And Josh and I were kicking stuff back and forth last night, and it was he has some fun matches planned. He's like, I don't want to do a top 10 list. I want to do matches I enjoyed the most. I was like,
yeah. I think that's the best way to do it because it's easy to to pick the high impact matches from like Worlds or something. Yeah, okay, those are probably important and probably good jiu-jitsu, but like what is personally awesome.
Yeah, it's like, what did you enjoy seeing the most?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's definitely some big men thrown off a stage that I might have enjoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm looking at this. I'm just looking at this event list, just staring us down and going, God damn, there is so much jiu-jitsu to cover. They are trying to pack it in before the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything. Absolutely everything. So.
And I remember that we started the show in November of last year, and I realized that it got overwhelming immediately. I was like, why? Oh, right, because every November and December, the events just stack up at the end.
Yes.
And it's awesome, but I'm very pleased when we get to Christmas and I get like a week to go like, oh, sweet, I get to watch like YouTube or like a show or something.
Yeah.
So
a lot of really good stuff on the horizon.
So
too,
at your gym, some of the fun's happening this week.
Oh yeah, Jonathan is coming.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fucking awesome.
You should talk to him about cool stuff that he does.
Yeah, like smashing people and shit.
Yeah, and winning Spider and being
Spider
amazing at
was
jiu-jitsu.
absurd.
Yeah, dude, because he was a Bravo when he went into that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he won it as a black belt, and you're like, holy shit, you're really fucking good.
Yeah.
So
and yeah, like the Atos guys have a huge, like they definitely view him as like, a future champion and things like that.
But he's a
for the
current champion. Like,
no, but I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
see, he's a guy that you can see winning a world title in the next like near future,
yeah, he's just got that
or being that
absurd
contender
hunger.
status.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, he looks so good. His passing looks good. His guard, like everything about his game, just looks insane in the gi. And so yeah, so please speak to him, Emil, and come back and tell you,
I ain't telling
to
you
us.
shit.
I'm
I'm keeping that for myself.
taking that purple belt jiu-jitsu knowledge away. That's awesome. So you got anything else?
Oh, dude, how about fucking Kron going to UFC?
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that's fucking huge news. I mean, I know it's like MMA, but like,
Well, because he's been fighting in Ryzen for a little bit now, and he got signed to the UFC. It's the first Gracie that they've had in a while.
Dude, he's like a scion of the Gracie family at this point.
He's Hickson's son.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
god damn, Hickson.
And a monster in jiu-jitsu in his own right,
Yeah, we were looking at his record a couple weeks ago about him and his wars with Marcelo and on the ADCC trials and like everything. And I was like, man, he competed a bunch in Marcelo. We went through like a bunch of BJ Hero records a while back to like look through Kron's stuff, and it was like, god damn, like he was fighting monsters.
Yeah.
From a young age, and you kind of forgot that like even like it's a couple years before I really got into sport jiu-jitsu. Like, so I kind of missed a lot of that, and so I'm catching it after the fact.
No,
like,
he's an absolute fucking savage. And, like, in terms of that side of the Gracie family, too, he's kind of like the last...
Yeah, he kind of. I mean, he's the youngest one, definitely, but he is kind of the last one, really.
From the West Coast guys, you know, like
pretty much.
It's the Henzo side now that's kind of like carrying the torch. Although not. I mean, there's some Gracies from Henzo's side, but like, you know, his school is really doing it. You don't see as much of kind of like the Gracie Academy folks carrying it on, but Kron he's a fucking savage.
It's exciting to see him in the UFC. I wonder. I think he's fighting Caceres. Alex Caceres is his first matchup, which is an interesting matchup. It'll be interesting to see Kron fight a guy that's been fighting the UFC for a while now, and Caceres has had his ups and downs in the UFC, but it'll be real interesting. Again, we don't really cover MMA on the show, but when a marquee grappler either signs to a big promotion or like has a big
Gracie, fight. I mean, like that's
especially Kron.
Big news.
Like, because he's a guy that's just recently come out of, in the last couple years, come out of jiu-jitsu and MMA. Like,
he's also not like a random Gracie that is like, you know, from changed the last name or whatever. It's like he is
Hickson's kid.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I'm excited to see that. And other news that I forgot at the beginning of the show, Kyle Chambers got his black belt from the Martinez brothers. So that's exciting. We see Kyle Chambers on, I think last one on Onnit and a bunch of other stuff, and I think on Fight to Win. So super exciting that he has black belt. Dude, it was a giant weekend for black belt promotions. Yeah. Andrew Cockle got promoted.
Yeah, I saw that. That's right.
I think we talked about a bunch of them at the beginning of the show. Josh got promoted. It was there were so many guys. I was like, oh my God, it was like 15 black belt promotions, and like 8 of them are like competitors that we cover on a regular basis. I'm like, oh, there's some fun black belt matchups that can happen now. Yeah.
But none of them took as good photos as Josh did.
Dude, I have gotten so many photos of Lee, which is our teacher, Josh's teacher, and Josh together, and they've edited all these like prom and homecoming picture photos, and it's been absurd in our groups the last like 2 days of just all these ridiculous photos of Josh and Lee. One looks like a pregnancy announcement photo. I don't know. I'm just like, oh my God.
And by the way, props to Rob Sullivan too for earning his brown belt.
Big props to Rob.
Big deal. Like, he's MMA fighter here in Maryland, and former training partner, and awesome that he got his brown belt. So.
Yeah, he's only been smashing me from the top position since I've started at Baltimore BJJ. Yeah, so it's been years of him just crushing me from the top. Now it's like finally,
he can do it with a new belt.
Not the same fucking belt, because like he hasn't been a purple belt in forever. Like, he's a black belt in top position. He just hates the bottom. Yes. And he barely trains in the gi.
Well, he hates a lot of things, but yeah.
He hates a multitude of things.
Yes.
But now he's a brown belt, so he can finally, like, it feels less bad when he's smashing me from top position and out wrestling me.
Yep.
So I think that does it. Now, basically, what's going to happen is a hard cut here to Josh's outro section. Yeah. But in true grappling profession, we are professionals. So, Emil, always good to have you. I'll see you next week after the marathon that is all the events we got to cover.
Yeah, peace.
You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, peace. We are the Grappling Rewind, and we'll see you on the mats. All right, so it's good to have you back, Josh. You were, doing a couple segments here. We're gonna have Emil do a couple segments because you're a little short on time today. Yeah. Doing black belt stuff.
No, like, while we were doing part of the recording and starting to set up, I was doing ordering for my job. I still need to send more order forms to my co-worker, who's the other manager at Central Kitchen, to get stuff in so I can make food. I have to send out a schedule still.
So you've got a lot of work stuff to do. It's about 9:15 on Sunday night, and Josh is still doing work stuff.
It's 9:10 and 24 seconds to be exact, according to your computer. But
all right, Josh.
Hey, whatever.
Throw me under the bus here.
Don't lie to the audience. Yeah, I'm extremely busy. It's not anything else that's keeping me away from this other than work. I'm at work all the time. And when I'm not, I want to spend time with my wife and my kids and occasionally train. And,
don't have time for the podcast right now.
Yeah, I mean, I still communicate with everybody that helps on the podcast via our little chat and, shoot some information and say some things.
You're still a big piece of the show behind the scenes in like helping us organize stuff and like, look at this event or this is happening or these things are happening and keeping the rest of the team informed so that when we do the show, like, we're not missing as much stuff.
Oh, I talk so much shit to Maine and Emil about how they miss stuff or they say incorrect shit. And they're like, well, why don't you come on and correct us? I'm like, I don't got the fucking time for that.
So you do today. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of time today. I spent the entire day with my family, just hanging out, doing stuff, just, lounging around, relaxing. And I was like, I'm going to go do this. And, got some time in, knocked out about an hour and a half worth of bullshitting. But, it's going to get cut down to like 35 minutes-ish.
Probably like 50 minutes, and then Emil will do the other bulk of the show.
Yeah.
So this is all going to be pieced together. You're probably going to hear this all at the end of the show. If it's in the middle of the show, then I edited it wrong, so my bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I loved the entire experience. It was really cool. It's now been over a year since we started this. Yeah. I was on 50-ish episodes, 40-something.
I think between all the episodes we did, I think you were on 45 or 46 of them. Yeah.
A large majority of them, and it was something that I've enjoyed since the beginning, but it also came to a point where it's like, I don't have any time to do anything, and then it's like watching all of these events, working, dealing with other...
Oh yeah, doing the podcast, behind the curtain here for us, for the podcast probably takes between, if we have a standard week, like there's only 3 or 4 events, maybe 3 events, and recording the show and getting all the news together and getting everything together, updating the lists we keep for the show, it's probably about a 25-hour-a-week thing for me as like the kind of the primary showrunner. And then anyone else who's on the show, Emil or Ryan or Matt or Josh, to watch the events, get all their notes together, and then do the recording itself, it's at least on the low end 10 hours a week.
Yeah, and I don't have 10 extra hours.
No.
If I did, it would be super early in the morning when everybody else wanted to sleep, and people don't want to get up that early. I don't even want to get up that early. So, we just got to sacrifice some things here and there. I'll still be on every once in a while. I'm always contributing, talking to the guys, getting stuff figured out. We're always, busting balls and making jokes. As soon as I got the picture, I sent this promotion picture that I have of myself in the... from when I got promoted, and it's myself and my teacher, and it's posed like a prom picture. Hopefully at some point or another, Maine will just put it up randomly and be like, yeah, these are the people that we deal with here at the Grappling
At the Grappling Rewind. This is our staff, in quotes there.
Right, and he again put up the video of me going through a table. Who does that? Nobody.
We're professional, Josh.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I have even higher level of respect for professional wrestlers now. It didn't hurt going through the table, but let me tell you something. When I woke up this morning, I felt like death. I was like, why does my back hurt so much?
Dude, you are a big dude now. George is a big dude who threw you, and I looked at the video in slow-mo, and you got to be a good 4 feet up in the air.
He could have lifted me up.
Drop.
He could have lifted me up higher. George is just being lazy, and I wasn't trying to like super leap and possibly completely miss everything underneath of me. And Rob trying to do the finishing portion of the 3D move. If he would have done it, he would have impaled himself on the legs of the table.
I'm so amazed no one got horribly injured by this.
I'm amazed I didn't get hepatitis of some form.
But that table was nasty.
Yeah, it was gross.
But go watch the video. It's utterly hilarious.
It's amusing.
To have it done on like an old 25-year-old card table. They had to wash it like 3 times because it was so dirty beforehand.
They duct taped some of the parts so like sharp things wouldn't stab anybody. You don't see it in the video, but there were multiple times where people got slapped in the face, like legit slapped, including myself.
They did a whole pro wrestling stick, and as much as I hate pro wrestling, it was pretty entertaining to watch live.
I no-sold it. I kicked out at 2, by the way. No matter what anybody has on film, my arm was up before the count of 3. So, yeah, what you gonna do when fat Josh Weinstock black belt runs wild on you?
So that does it for Josh's portion of the podcast. Professor Weinstock, as always, it's a pleasure.
Ooh,
that's
he
the only one.
Never was gonna say
That's the only one you get.
That's right. When I get announced at Fight to Win, Seth has to say Professor Josh Weinstock, and I am going to piss my pants before I even get on the stage. Because I think that's funny.
It is pretty funny. All right, Josh. Always a pleasure.
Indeed.
You're welcome to come back whenever you get a chance.
Always.
If you like the show, please consider sharing it on Facebook with the folks at your gym. It's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. You can reach out to us on email.
We also have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Google Plus.
Until that shuts down.
We have a website.
If you have an event you would like to have us cover, please let us know. If you have a name, like most people do, and you'd like to have us stop butchering it,
let us know.
Reach out to us. The show is also available on YouTube, Spotify, in addition to iTunes and every other podcast service. We very much appreciate your time, and thank you.